Finally today, precision agriculture is designed to help producers improve efficiency on their farms and thereby improve that profitability margin. Nebraska Extension Wildlife Specialist Andy Little uses those precision ag technologies in his research with precision conservation. Andy joined me to discuss the subject and why he sees precision agriculture as the future of farming.
It's designed in a way to, again, that improving that efficiency so that it helps a producer from their bottom line, again, saving money on fertilizer, saving money on seed, being able to strategically place that fertilizer or seed or say herbicide or insecticide very strategically in the field. And so it's not like kind of the one size fits all per se. And so essentially you're able to really apply that really targeted within the field, and that's the really kind of the whole idea. And at the end of the day will help those farmers actually improve that profitability.
What are some specific tools and practices that farmers might want to consider with precision ag?
Yeah, it's another great question. So one of the great opportunities of the University of Nebraska is we have the On-Farm Research Network, which is piloted by Laura Thompson, and they actually do a lot of work with the precision ag in the precision ag realm. And so one of the things that they do is actually working with those producers and helping them basically test out some of the new equipment that's out there. So for example, variable rate irrigation. So you basically can take and shut off and turn on those pivots at different points in the field depending on your water needs. You have soil moisture sensors that can be put into the field, helping those producers know exactly when their fields need to have irrigation on versus kind of the traditional model of basically just applying it whenever they felt like they should apply it. And so those are some of the really innovative approaches. And again, I think the great opportunity is partnering with the university through their network, which they have some new tools, is working with producers with yield monitor data, working to help synthesize that data to be able to make those on-farm management decisions.
And then kind of along the same lines, you've also had some research on precision conservation. So what is this and why is it something that our viewers should be concerned about?
Yeah, absolutely. So precision conservation is really designed in a way to help those producers increase the whole field profitability. And so you can have yield monitor data, like I mentioned before, where it can identify those consistently marginal areas in fields. So maybe it's an area where a producer knows that that area regularly gets inundated with water, and I'm really not making much money there. And so obviously an agronomist is going to work with them to maybe adjust those nitrogen or their seeding rates within those sections. But another great option you can actually do is be able to employ kind of a diverse management system. In other words, basically taking and maybe putting those consistently marginal areas into a conservation program that NRCS, for example, has. So you can go to your FSA office and talk with them about targeting those areas based on, say, yield monitor data. And basically the idea is then by having that conservation payment plus basically farming those best yielding acres, you're conserving those marginal areas for, say, things like wildlife that want to be able to utilize those areas. You're also helping to reduce things like soil erosion on your fields, reduce the amount of water you're having to put on your fields by doing that. And then at the end of the day, you're able to increase that whole field profitability.
And you'll hear people say sometimes that there are competing interests with ag production and conservation. So what are a couple ways that we can use precision conservation to address any of those challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is a big challenge. And I will say that one of the biggest, or a couple of the biggest issues that we face right now is we have a growing world's population. And so the question of basically food production is obviously at the forefront of that. And how do we handle feeding that many people while at the same time thinking about our agricultural systems to conserve them, reduce soil erosion, reduce water contamination, etc. And so from my perspective, when I'm thinking about precision conservation, how people really can use that is that kind of that framework that I just described with those challenges, it helps target those areas where they can essentially kind of get the best of both worlds per se. So they can actually address that question of, hey, how can I handle producing more on my field to deal with the growing world's population? But at the same time, I want to take and make sure this farm lasts for generations to come, and I want to make sure we have sustainable soils, for example, and I can do that with targeting conservation strategically within that ag system.